I have to repair the rear bumper rear valance combo that was ripped off my Lotus. But I must observe the Lotus ethos of adding lightness. So it's a challenge then. So what happened when the bumper was ripped off? I have no idea. It happened before me, but once you peel away the bodge fest underneath, it's fairly obvious someone had a bad day. I suspect the steel brackets are the originals and would likely have been held in place with riv nut style fasteners captive in the bumper, just like how the valance is fastened to it. So I'll set the scene here. The bumper fits to the body shell and the valance is bolted both to the shell and the bumper. Only it doesn't seem to fit right. The bottom sticks out way too far off the body and the sides don't hug the contour of the shell nicely either. Why? Well, for starters, there's a thicker section in the wall of the valance, and while it seems to correspond with the fastening bolt location, it doesn't seem necessary. The fiberglass isn't thicker at the other bolt points, so thinning this down will definitely let the valance fit more closely, but it's not going to go all the way to closing the gap at the bottom. Still, I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to fill all of the 17 bolt holes in the valance, because only 9 of them are supposed to be there. Glassing in these initial patches of matte is just spanning the gaps where the original material ripped out. I haven't wetted out the centre so that when the next layer goes on, it all becomes one. And the idea is to bond captive nuts into the fiberglass so that the bumper can be bolted on from the inside of the car as before. To bond captive nuts in, I have to make up some perforated plates that will carry the nut and spread the load through the fiberglass. But I've run out of resin, so I'm just popping out, won't be long. In the meantime, enjoy a little musical interlude as you watch past me sand a door to keep progress going. There aren't a huge number of things you pick up on a Lotus Esprit that feel heavy. Everything is generally light, sometimes almost too light, which you accept as the trade-off for dynamics. So when you come across something that's heavier than expected, it's jarring. This door capping is well over half a kilo, nearly 600 grams, and that means the cost in weight to finish the door top and provide a window rubber on both sides of the car is nearly 1.25 kilos. You'd have to be here and start pawing at various components to really appreciate just how heavy this thing feels, so take my word for it, it has to be lighter, and I'm forming a plan for that. But let's finish this door and get back to the bumper. If you saw the recent episode with the retrofit of a modified fly-off handbrake, you'll remember the heads twisting off the small stainless screws I was trying to tighten into the shell. Fiberglass really grips threads, it turns out. Well, I've found anyway. And I went with the second of 2 measurements for the captive nut this bolt hole corresponds to. The bolt was just snug enough against the fiberglass that it was binding hard. So I let the tiniest amount of die grinder into the body to ease the tension. This bumper bolted up pretty straight first go without any fine tuning, although it's impossible to tell for sure with the car upside down. And the only straight line on the body to use as a reference point is the waistline join. And while that's straight, it's not even side to side, if that makes sense. While I succeeded in reducing weight by deleting all the rough-hewn hardware that was holding the bumper to the car when I got it, I failed in reducing the weight from standard. My captive plates are definitely lighter than the standard brackets, but the amount of resin and chop strand mat I had to introduce must be heavier. I'll be doing some calculations and bringing that info and more to a patron exclusive video in a few days, and you'll get a link to patronage options down below. The big win here came though when I removed the temporary screw from the bottom lip of the bumper. It slumped just slightly, and then this happened. The repeated test fitting in this video isn't the half of it, and I had honestly come to the conclusion I would never get the rear valance to sit snug on the bodywork. There seemed to just be too much inconsistency in the 3 different pieces of fiberglass involved. Now you might look at this and think, well, it's good near the drain hole, but there are loads of gaps elsewhere. The saving grace is there's a piece of trim, a strip of foam as far as I know, that fits between the valance and bodywork. And I'm hoping that's going to make all the difference. That and tightening all the bolts super hard so all my handiwork cracks as it forces everything into submission. I thought I'd have the front spoiler and under tray done in this video too, but I've never learned to properly estimate time needed on these things. That's coming next time. My patrons keep all of this going and things are slow at the moment, so if you've been toying with the idea of lending a hand, now's a great time. Thanks to new patrons Steve Gurney, Mark Hancheroff and Ben Milne. And to all of my patrons, as with everything in life, having good people around you is a gift. I'll see you shortly with more, and in the meantime, I'll be back at it on the bodywork. So until then, stay stuck in, and good luck.